Hello everyone and welcome to my new vlog about my sequel most important questions or the most important data engineer questions that you can expect in companies where you are thinking of getting a pay package above 20 lakhs. So whether you are an experienced candidate or you are a fresher or if you are preparing for track 2 Wings1 program of TCS, these questions are going to be very helpful to you. So I have actually come into conclusion about these questions that I have cumulatively collected from a lot of experienced resources and from a lot of experienced candidates, those who have qualified those interviews of pay packages greater than 20 lakh, 32 lakh and great product based companies as well. So all of these questions, at least 50% I am going to cover in this video. And these questions are most importantly also asked when you are going to be onboarded into some new project. Suppose if you are in bench and you're looking for a data engineer project inside TCS or even in your own organization, then I have personally also faced these questions being asked as one of the technical rounds. So if you keep this video handy and all the answers that are discussed here, this would definitely help you in cracking those interviews, short interviews, also in answering questions for your main interviews of product based companies. Also, if you're preparing for track 2 Wings1 program, then I believe listening to these questions would also be some helpful because it will enhance your understanding skill with respect to MySQL. So any data engineer can practically view this. So let's discuss in details about these questions without wasting any further time. So this is one of a very generic question which is asked to any data engineer interview if you go, that how would you find the nth highest salary within each department using SQL, and why would you choose dense rank over rank? So I have actually given this question as the nth highest salary because I have faced this question in many interviews. I was interviewed for PayPal. Before I joined PayPal, actually, as one of my clients, I was asked this question also. So in that question I was asked for the fourth highest salary. You can be asked for the fifth highest salary. So let's make it a very generic, which is the nth highest salary, and we will discuss this with an example too. So what are we doing? We are selecting the department ID, we are selecting the employee ID, and we are selecting the salary. Now we are selecting this from, we are going to select the department ID, employee ID, salary, and we are going to use dense rank windows function here. So what we are doing, we are using dense rank windows function and we are partitioning that by department ID, order by descending, and we are taking this as an alias of salary rank from the employees table, and we are going to only filter out that nth highest salary which you will be questioned. So it can be third, it can be fourth, it can be fifth. So this dense rank function will actually help you in partitioning department wise. Say suppose you are in department A and you have received 7,000 as one of the salary and 7,000 as one more employee's same salary. Again you have got 5,000 and one more employee's salary in department A. Then you have maybe in department B 5,000, 4,000, 7,000. So department level wise it is going to be partitioned and rank would be given on the basis of the dense rank. And here you are not going to skip anything, you are going to keep them, and with the same rank you can filter with the salary rank of the nth position. So let's solve this with the third highest salary from the table. So if you want the third highest salary from the table, nothing, you're just going to replace that n with the number 3. So you can pause the video and check this query, and I suggest all of you that whenever you are actually trying to learn something with respect to SQL, GCP BigQuery or MySQL, then you should always practice it. So not only just seeing these queries that you are checking, I have cumulatively put it in one video so that you can just at a glance go through it for if you are preparing for Wings1 or if you are preparing for any data engineering interview, so that it is helpful to all of you. But I suggest all of you that if you have time, please practice these in hands-on, because until and unless you practice them in hands-on, you don't get the grasp and you don't understand from the output of what you are typing out from the query. And let me be very frank in telling you that many of you think with 4 years of experience or 3 years of experience that I am not that good enough to appear for a product based company. I don't have that much understanding in SQL, then what should I do? So in those cases, I would suggest all of you that if you know the basics very clearly, if your idea and your thinking, analytical thinking capacity is very strong, if you know the syntax of SQL very well, then nothing can stop you from actually appearing in a product based interview as well, because you need to keep your base clear, you need to understand, practice and see how the outputs are differing from the different queries. And mistakes do happen to everyone. At least when I started from scratch, I also have done a lot of mistakes in typing simple queries as well. So let's prepare together for all interviews as well. I'm keeping them in one video because it will be helpful for everyone, and it is also going to help me in also near future. So one more question is, what is the difference between repartition and Collier's in Spark? When would you use it? So repartition is basically used when you are scaling up or rebalancing data, and Collier's is used when you are scaling down before writing to disk or optimizing small jobs. So this is one of the most important difference that you can point out in the interview. It is going to be a very apt answer for the same. Your next question is, explain how you would handle SED type 2 in an ETL pipeline. Now this is a very common question, like what is SED type 2, what is slow changing dimensions. In most of, I appeared for one of the interviews in IBM as well, and there also I was asked about fact tables, flat tables, dimension tables, SED type 1 tables. So these are very basic questions which are asked in every place. So what is SED type 2? SED type 2 is a technique used in data warehousing to preserve historical changes in dimension tables. So instead of overwriting the old data that we have, we insert a new row for each of those changes. Now you must be thinking about yourself, like why we are inserting a new row for each of these changes. So we are keeping a new row for each of these changes so that we in this way we can preserve the historical changes that have happened to that particular primary key of the table. So this historical change can be used in near future for any of your data analysis. So SED type 2 is nothing but it is a data warehousing technique to preserve historical changes. We insert a new row for each change, track validity period using start date and end date. We can optionally also use current flag to mark it as an active record. So the historical data which you are no longer taking into consideration, you can mark it as active flag N, and you can mark the current data which you are inserting as a new updated row. Maybe your start date is changing, your maybe some ticket which needs to be solved within some specific SLA is not resolved and the date is getting changed, that this particular record you're considering as the new record, you can mark that as an active flag Y. So this is the use case of SED type 2. Write a query to find the second highest salary from the employee table without using max in subquery. So I found, and I actually realized that this offset one would be the easiest way of doing it without using max query. So we are just selecting the distinct salary from employee table. We are ordering by salary in descending order, limit of 1 because it is the second highest salary they have set, so we are making it as offset 1. So this is pretty straightforward query. Now what is the difference between online transaction processing, that is OLTP, and online analytical processing, which is OLAP? So the purpose of OLTP is to manage day-to-day transactions, and the purpose of OLAP is analyzing historical data for insights. The data volume for OLTP should be small, frequent and transactions, and the data volume for OLAP should be large volumes of historical data. The operations that you can actually expect from OLTP is insert, update and delete, and from OLAP it can be selecting with complex joins and aggregations. The response time is very fast in milliseconds for OLTP, and for OLAP it is slower in seconds to minutes. So facts and dimension tables. What are fact tables? Fact tables store quantitative data, the metrics or measurements of business processes. So basically the characteristics of fact table is they contain numerical values like your sale, your revenue, your quantity, and these fact tables are linked to dimension tables via the foreign key concept. Okay, so often there are very large in size as well. So you may be asked what is fact table, what is dimension table, what is flat table as well. And so with respect to fact table, you can say that it is the numerical value measurement wise. Fact tables actually matters with respect to how much or how many. And when it comes to dimension tables, it stores the descriptive attribute, the context around each facts. So the characteristics is it contains textual or categorical data, product name, customer location, and it is used for filtering, grouping, or labeling in analysis. So typically smaller than fact tables are dimension tables. So dimension table answers your who, what, where, and when conditions. So this is your basic understanding about fact and dimension tables as well as differences. So now comes the flat tables. So flat tables are nothing but they are the denormalized tables in a database that contains all the data needed for specific analysis or report in a single wide structure without relying on joins between multiple related tables. Now all data in one table is going to be present, which includes both metrics as well as dimensions. So it is going to include both fact as well as dimensional attributes, and no normalization is there. It is a denormalized table in which you can also find redundant amount of common data like repeating customer names, product categories, and all. Wide schema, there are many columns and very fewer joins present, and optimized for reading and not writing is also there. So this is with respect to flat tables. Now you will have, this question is also asked very common, that what is the difference between a star schema and a snowflake schema. So basically a star schema is denormalized and a snowflake schema is normalized. So query wise also, if you go to check, the star schema is faster and snowflake schema is slower. Storage efficiency wise, star schema is lower and snowflake is higher. Complexity is simpler for star, and for snowflake it is more complex. The use case is for star is dashboards and quick insights, and snowflake it is detailed analysis and large models. So these data engineering questions that you are seeing is very helpful in cracking companies like PayPal, Google, Walmart, as well as all service-based companies, and also it will be helpful if you are in bench and looking for a data engineer project within your organizations. Also, if you are appearing for Wings1 Track 2 program, then it will also help you understanding whatever you are preparing is going to be is what is in this flow as well or not. And thank you everyone for watching this video till the end. To subscribe for more such videos, and I take on my time to make these videos so that it becomes helpful for all of you. So I request all of you that if you like these questions and if you find this to be helpful, to subscribe my channel. Thank you.